weekend. The official Christmas #1 has been announced, and it's the perfect present for this year's winner.
So beautiful, I don't deserve this, darling, you.
Ed Sheeran's single Perfect wins the accolade with 85,000 combined sales this week, split between downloads and streams. After a career-defining year, the singer-songwriter said becoming Christmas #1 is a dream come true. Well, joining me in the studio is James Masterton, who's the editor of Chart Watch and who also presents the Chart Update podcast. Thanks very much indeed for coming in. So, a surprise, not a surprise, really?
I think it's one of those occasions where we'll look back on it and go, well, that was obvious, really, wasn't it? We all like to pretend it's actually going to be a race, and during the course of the week, everyone was playing second-guessing about whether it was going to swing his way or going to swing the way of the Eminem single who was against him. But I think, no, at the end of the day, this was always going to be Ed Sheeran's moment, and he's revelling in it.
Well, he is revelling in it. He says it's a dream come true. But, James, how important is being the Christmas #1 now compared to, say, 10 or 20 years ago?
It seems to be one of these cultural things. I think it's something the British public like to engage with at this time of year, and it's become so much part of the Christmas time tradition, almost as much as the Queen's speech or the Strictly Christmas special in a way. Certainly for the artists themselves, I think if you asked any performer what's the best time of year to be #1, they would say at Christmas, because that's truly when you actually write yourself in the annals of history, and it's when even the people who might consider themselves lapsed pop music fans actually start to pay attention to what is at the top of the charts. And so if it happens to be you, you've written yourself into popular history.
Well, somebody's helpfully printed out some recent #1s for me, and Ed Sheeran joins Mr Blobby and Bob the Builder in getting this accolade, but he also joins Queen and Whitney Houston.
I think that demonstrates why this is a source of such fascination to people, given that you can have acts that are incredibly credible, incredibly hip and up to the minute, such as Ed Sheeran, but also we've been cursed in a way with novelty hits such as things like Mr Blobby and Bob the Builder in the past. It just goes to show there's actually no straightforward definition as to what could be a Christmas #1. It's whatever takes people's fancy at the time.
And are there songs that should have been Christmas #1 but never were?
I think most definitely you can point to the charts of any particular year and find the famous #2 hits, the songs that never quite made #1, such as Fairy Tale of New York and Last Christmas, and even the track that seems to be the nation's perennially favourite Christmas song, the Mariah Carey track, All I Want for Christmas Is You. All of those actually #2 singles for Christmas.
Intriguing. James Masterton, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Now, British passport covers are to revert to blue once Britain leaves the European Union in 2019.